last night, Giannis had a night.
Oh yeah, you could say that.
And Giannis had a week.
Giannis had,
Could you make this case? You make this case. And I asked 2/3 of the Rich Eisen Show basketball podcast, where all podcasts can be acquired. Adam Chudwin, who is the guy who says hello. He has you at hello when you call to the Rich Eisen Show. He's the call screener, okay? And so he and the two of you talk about this every single week. Episodes drop every Wednesday where all podcasts can be acquired. You could make the case that at the beginning of this week, Giannis was not the most valuable player of the NBA.
Correct.
You could make a case that he was, but you could also make a case that
you could make
he wasn't like that. This was an Embiid, Jokic, two-man race. Just because voters are like, hey, he had it last year.
Yeah, well, Jokic had it last year. Giannis had one, two.
Right.
He's won two in a row.
That's
so
right.
It's kind of
That's
like,
correct.
A little Greek freak fatigue.
Right. Well, or that Embiid had the edge because Jokic had it last year.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So Giannis is the MVP now? Is that what you believe?
I got to say, Rich, just the week that he's had, and more importantly, it was against who he had it against, right? So this week he played Philadelphia and dropped 40 and 14, including the game-winning block of Embiid to seal that victory on the road. Then plays against Brooklyn, goes to Brooklyn last night, and just took over 44 and 14.
Down 10 late. Kyrie's first home game.
Durant didn't have a huge game, but Durant was cooking in the second half. Kyrie was doing his thing, first home game. And Giannis hits the game tying three to send it to overtime.
That was amazing.
And then hits the game-winning free throws.
Free throw,
in the
by the way.
closing seconds.
Free throws.
Giannis had a great night at the line. I think because of the opponents, the back-to-back 40s, passing Kareem on the all-time Bucks list. I mean, look, Giannis started yesterday 17-1 to win MVP. After last night's game, he's 6-1. So I just think.
So are those the best odds, or
he does not have the best odds? It's still Embiid, but I just think
Jokic is Mr.
Just look
Triple-double.
Past that he's done it.
Jokic at
two
the
times
center.
already.
Jokic at the center position is 2 assists per game shy of averaging a triple-double.
I get it. And he's done it without two of his better teammates, Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., and Embiid, with all the things that's been going on in Philadelphia, the Ben Simmons, and then the trade, and then
he didn't say anything either. He could have really. You pointed that out quite a bit, that he could have inflamed the situation.
Yeah,
so I turn to Team Embiid over there and say, what say you? What do you think?
Look, man, it's me. I'm a homer when it comes to these things, but I'm also a basketball fan, and I love Embiid. He's my favorite player. But my goodness, man, when you watch what this freak from Greeks does, it's beyond impressive. Like, I can remember 3-4 years ago when we would say, man, if Giannis could just learn how to shoot a 17-footer, he'd be hard to stop. This man's doing step-back threes over 7-footers to win games
Drummond,
now.
Over Drummond, he hit that three.
This dude, and plus he starts every post-game presser with a dad joke. I mean, he's rolling right now. And, like I said, I personally would love Embiid to win this, but if it comes out, Giannis is your MVP, I'm just going to applaud because you can't say anything about
15 of 19 from the foul line last night.
How about that?
Like, just getting it done.
Remember last year?
When everyone's counting to 10.
14 seconds
everyone
he couldn't
was counting.
shoot. And
it was in his head.
15 wasn't the number of made free throws. It was the number of seconds he took just to attempt a free throw.
Now, he's been better with that this year.
Yeah, obviously,
and
no doubt.
So everything that we said the guy couldn't do or needed to improve, he now has improved or can do. I don't know how you stop him.
Yeah, every year it seems like he adds an element to his game because he knows what people are saying about him, about what he needs to improve on. And look, I said this in our RES Hoops chat with Adam and TJ. And I don't think it's hyperbole. We're talking about a guy who could win 3-4 MVPs and 3-4 championships when it's all said and done. And if he does, we're looking at a guy who's top 8, top 6, top 5 all time. He's going to pass Hakeem. He's going to pass Shaq. Like, we're watching one of the greatest players of all time right now. And I think, like, accept it. There's no stopping the freight train.
And all I got to say is, I'm making it a little bit about myself right here. He went on this run as soon as I said that Heat shouldn't trade for him. And so you're welcome.
You're welcome.
I clearly lit the fire underneath him. What about this one?
You did.
What about this one, though? How come we're not naming a player on the team that's got 62 wins and every single guy that we've talked about so far, none of them, the Sixers, the Bucks, nor the Nuggets have as many W's as Memphis? How come we're not talking about Morant anymore? How come we're not talking about Booker, or why not?
The problem with Morant, Rich, and we talk about this a lot on the podcast, is for as great of a season as Ja's having, Memphis is, I believe, 18 or 19-2 without him in the lineup. So that kind of it hurts your argument.
He's missed a lot of games.
He missed a lot of games,
and they have played. Their level of play hasn't dropped with him out of the lineup. Not taking anything away from him,
but that's a
very
team
special
effort.
player. I think he's going to be in the MVP conversation, within the next 4 or 5 seasons. But when you talk about Phoenix, Rich, they play the ultimate team basketball. And it's crazy because they've been talking about this on Turner and ESPN. Booker's averages 25, 5, and 5.
He's been incredible lately, too.
Every player who has at least averaged that has won the MVP before, and he's not even going to be in the discussion. He's maybe 4 or 5.
So why?
Behind him and Tatum are just kind of afterthoughts now.
Well, guess what? I think they're not going to get an MVP top 3, maybe not even top 4 or top 5.
Maybe not
player, but Monty Williams is.
He's going to win Coach of the Year.
So he's there. So everyone thinks he's their MVP.
He's a shoo-in, and they're the favorite for the NBA title, and they should be. They're having the most spectacular season that nobody's really talking about.
On top of it, too. Like, no one's talking about the Robert Sarver report.
Exactly.
Okay, like that. When that happened, it's just like, well, there goes the Sun season because this is just going to be totally consumed or subsumed by it. And because it's some of the most execrable, awful, terrible stories and charges you'll ever hear. Mm-hmm. And the Suns have won 62 games. And that's another Monty Williams. As well as the rest of the team. I mean, Chris Paul. And
the fact that Chris Paul's had to deal with this out of ownership twice in his career is unbelievable.
And Ayton didn't get his big contract either.
He did not. They did not pay him.
And he didn't go in the tank.
Nope.
And did you see the video?
16 the other night.
Did you see the video that got out there after they beat the Warriors? They started doing workouts. Yeah. Did you see that? Like the strength coach was there. They're still in their uniforms.
I'm telling you, man, it all goes back to that 8-0 run in the bubble. We all said it. You saw something special come out of this team. They didn't make the playoffs in the bubble year, but they went 8-0. Booker became a star.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.